Kim, your turn. Happy solstice. All right, so I'm going to do your reading. This is a really slippery cloth, so hopefully it doesn't fuck up. It's because I said that. All right. All right, what covers you? What sums up your overall situation? It's the Two of Autumn. So you are working toward a goal that will result in something that benefits you in a material way, like with your family or with your job or with your home, material things. You're toward the beginning of it. And so you haven't reached the goal yet. You're just past the part where you put it into seed. You just started putting it into action. At this point of your venture, you have some cooperation. Specifically, this could be a partnership. So this could be somebody that has equal dedication to the same goal, and they're going to work. This has, because it has to do with actual work, they're going to work just as hard as you to help you make this happen. This is somebody that, this is a partnership that is equal parts give and take and mutually supportive, very much focused on staying, getting down to business and accomplishing things that might be kind of like boring and sensible, but things that will meet your material needs and create a security, family, and home, stuff like that. What crosses you? We have the Six of Spring. So something that impacts this situation, this early goal where you have a partnership, somebody else that's equally committed. You have recently accomplished a milestone. So you've started to achieve some success on this journey. You have not gotten to the end yet because the completion would be 10, but you have made considerable progress where it's starting to show that there's a good chance that you will be successful. Early indications of success, about halfway there, just over halfway there. But all the feedback is positive and you have a reason for a short celebration. The caveat with this card is to not get complacent and to just celebrate too early, rest on your laurels. It's kind of like, if you're playing a football game and you have a really awesome first quarter, well, that's great, but you still have to play the rest of the game, and that doesn't guarantee that you're going to do awesome the rest of the game. You still have to continue to apply the same discipline, the same methods that got you this far to continue to get you to your goal. At your foundation, so what this arose from, we have the World. And this is a big accomplishment. What this all rose out of is that you achieved something that brought the rest of your aspects of life into balance. So this is something that created harmony and created completeness or wholeness in other areas of your life. So you reached a big, important goal. And that from that could spring the next level of your life, which is, right here. And that makes sense because this is an early thing. You completed this goal, and from there, we've sprung this journey here. In your recent past, as it pertains to this situation, you have had a lot of, now in this, intuitively, I wouldn't read this to necessarily just be females, but you have the type of feminine support that is so essential for getting you through the early parts of a journey. It's like that cheerleader, like, yeah, you can do it. People who are there to be nurturing and comforting, like in that feminine type of way. And it's a group of people who are really just looking out for your best interest. They're not going to criticize you if you make a mistake. They're not there to point out your flaws or to give you guidance on what you should do better. All they're there to do is celebrate your successes and to remind you that you're awesome and to let you know that you can do it, and they're on your side, and they see all the good in you and they see all the progress and all of the successes. They're not going to dwell on any of the other stuff because that's not what they're there for. And that's affecting that situation. So in your recent past, you did connect with normally I would say this is a support system of women. I'm not reading this to just be women though, just like I said, in a nurturing and comforting but celebratory way. In your near future, as it pertains to this situation, you may run into just a little bit of healthy competition, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't get caught up in it. It's easy to kind of get carried away by some petty drama and forget that that's really like nothing. So, don't get distracted by that. But in your near future, you might get momentarily caught up in something that you think at the moment matters or that it's a big deal, but really it's not. It's just a quarreling for no reason and a distraction of like silly competition or games, like stuff that in the end isn't really going to amount to anything, but it could distract you from this, and you might invest too much importance into just kind of a silly and juvenile departure. And let's face it, we all get like that sometimes. So if you get caught up in some drama in the near future, just know, don't let that pull you off of your path. Just know that it's not serious. What crowns you? The best thing you have going for you in this situation. Well, for me, when I get this card, I don't usually get it as something that's good because it overwhelms me. But this must be something that you thrive on. Maybe it's because it keeps you distracted. But that I shouldn't even put anything that I know about you into this, so I'm just going to erase that, backspace, delete. So what crowns you? The best thing you have going for you in this situation is that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different actions. There's communications. There's things happening. There's a lot of this flying at you. Now, whether this is a good card or a bad card can depend on the type of person you are and how you respond to these things. Since it's in this position, for you it is good, for whatever reason. So a flurry of activity and a lot of things happening at once is impacting the situation for you in the best possible way. You, in this situation, are the Princess of Summer. So you are very like the dreamer. Being princess, yes, it's immature, but that doesn't mean that in a negative way or less than the queen. It's just there are pros and cons to the youthful aspect. Pros is being more optimistic, more idealistic, believing in things that as we get older we start to think are silly. So still believing in magic. Possibly believing the very best about somebody, even if that might be naive. So you, as it pertains to the situation, have a very, very optimistic outlook, a very hopeful, a very dreamy, a very rose-tinted perspective, and there is nothing wrong with that. That means that you're seeing all the good, and all of the good is magnified and amplified for you. And so while it might not be 100% accurate, that might just be what makes it worth it for you. So that's who you are in this situation, is just being very filled with the very positive perspective. Your environment, somebody around you that is not you, that impacts this situation. There's a conflict with someone, and we did talk about conflict as it is too right here, but so that conflict that is in the near future comes from a person in your environment that really, like, you guys have said all that you need to say. There is no point in continuing the drama. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's like you're spinning your wheels. You've said everything you need to say. They've said everything they need to say. And if you're going to continue to get catty and dramatic about it, like, you can, but really there's nothing more to be accomplished. And so this person might be distracting you from your goals because they just want to keep beating this dead horse. They want to keep revisiting this old conflict. They want to keep picking at this old wound, and it's done. Your hopes or fears as it pertains to this situation. This could be a hope or a fear, because this is a waiting. So you've done your work, you've put in your time, you invested your energy. There's nothing else that you need to do, but you do have to wait. You have to wait for it to be the time. Because, there's a lot of situations where we do everything we can, but